Hey, welcome everybody. We're live, and I've got another really cool special guest today. But first, my name is Jerry, and you're watching 3D HP. And today I've got Sean on, the 3D Print General. He has some amazing videos out there, and he has a really cool book that he sells on Amazon for 3D print failures. Let me bring him in, and we'll say hi. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Hey, Jerry, doing well yourself?
Awesome. Yeah, I seen you recently. You was only on one other live stream that you did, and you're usually not on camera. Why is that?
Yeah, I usually feel like I have a lot of ums and that sort of thing when I'm live in front of the camera, so bear with me. So that's why I normally like to write my scripts beforehand and, you know, just do it in front of the camera. But yeah, here I am trying to get a little bit better in front of the camera.
Awesome. Let me say hi to a few people in chat. Astro Printer, how you doing? Gary T, SPC 3D, Jason M, 3D Print Newbie, Dominic, Dan, Dominic Versada, Gary T, going down the list. Betty Boot 45, that's my wife in the other room, Brandy.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a lot of people here. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in today. And yeah, we have an awesome giveaway. My friend Trevor from Navari 3D Printing down in Florida wanted to donate a printer to my channel, Ender 3 V2. He sells Amazon returns. And, you know, I have an Ender 3 V2. I reviewed one a while back. I have other Enders. I got regular Enders, I got Pros, and I have the one Ender 3 V2. I'm like, you know what, Trevor, I really don't need it. Maybe I can just give it away to somebody that out there, hopefully in the USA, can use it. So I chose to give that away to one person that's watching today. Or I could just get it and have another printer that I don't know when I'm going to use. It's going to collect dust. So I thought it'd be best just to give it away. So
awesome.
That'll be really cool. And I have a Google Doc that everybody can fill out. It's in the description below, and it's posted in chat. I'll repost it here in a minute. And before the end of the stream, we'll spin the wheel of names, and we'll have a winner here in the USA.
That's awesome. It's really cool you guys are doing that. So,
yeah, I love giving away stuff. And when I get 2,500 subs, I'm having a real big giveaway. And I got a couple hundred more to go. Like, I don't know, 250 more people, and then I'll have a lot of giveaways then. But
that's awesome.
Who is the 3D Print General? If you could tell me a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, one of my best friends and my stepbrother started a 3D printing company together back in like 2014, and they didn't have much money, so they needed to underpay somebody to be their operations manager, and I was just the guy. And I didn't really have any understanding whatsoever of 3D printing when I came in, and kind of learned on the spot and slowly learned how this is not plug and play like a lot of the marketers advertise it as. And so I slowly started seeing just how many problems there were, and we would have so many failures throughout the day. And so I thought, why not, kind of create an all-in-one resource. That's why I kind of wrote the book. And then I thought, well, might as well create a YouTube channel to help promote the book. So I'll do tutorials. And then at the very end of the video, advertise the book so that, you're not forced to watch the advertisement each time. But and that's kind of who I am how I got into 3D printing.
Kong DeBong, thank you very much for the $10.
Oh, and Kong DeBong is he's one of my good friends. He's the designer on our Patreon. So on our Patreon, if you see all of those designs that we have, he did them all. So
awesome. Let me pull up some pictures here, and we can talk about a few things. Sure. Let's see. Let me go through these here. They're all got too many things in here. And this is a real interesting thing you have going here. At least I think you had going. And this is you.
Yeah. So back in, we were asking about a little bit of the history of myself. This is back when I was in college. I was actually a business major. I'm not an engineer. I'm very open about that. And my best friend, that guy who also started SD3D, David, who's in that picture with me, we started Joint Healing, which was a medical marijuana collective in Southern California and San Diego. And we started in like 2009. We opened our doors in 2010. We ran it for about a year and a half. There's our grow room. So I know I'm not usually open about this sort of thing because I'm kind of get judged. But we ran it for a year and a half. It was actually really successful. We were one of the bigger ones in San Diego. And then we all got shut down, everybody in San Diego, by the city and the feds. And so, yeah, that was kind of a past life. We shut down in 2011, so almost a decade ago. And, yeah, I still have a lot of memories from there. But Yeah, it was definitely a crazy time. Let's put it that way. Because I was a senior in college while we were running that thing, and I was taking these business courses that I thought were useless. I mean, so many of my teachers didn't know any. I mean, they just became teachers out of college, but they're teaching about business, and I'm sitting in there literally learning about how to rub your ears to like calm down. I was something ridiculous. And I'm like, I have to go to my actual business that I'm running right now.
Yeah, that's a shame you're not doing it now, but it's got so popular, you'd be rich.
Yeah, and that's I always remind myself of that as well. but yeah, I think I might have mentioned to you, it's a fool me once situation. I thought I was in the clear when I did it in 2010, and they're telling everybody they're in the clear now, and maybe they are. I'm not going to trust it. I don't know. I'm just going to stay away from any controversial businesses and stick to 3D printing.
Yeah, and today's Leprechaun Day, and as my wife is watching, I had on a green shirt. I had a couple different ones on, but I didn't like the way they felt or the way they looked, so I switched again, Brandy, and yeah, it is what it is. I got a green light behind me. He's got a green shirt and a green bow tie. So
there you go.
We're all good.
Yeah, like I miss St. Patrick's Day almost every year. I forget, and my girlfriend reminded me, so she gave me this guy.
Yeah, your book you came out with on. Let me share a screen here real quick. And when did you first come out with your book?
So my first edition was right around when I started my channel, I believe in like mid 2017. And that was kind of the purpose of creating the channel. It was kind of all in one, a way to make money and introduce people to how to fix their printer. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the first edition was mid 2017, and that one I feel like I wasn't quite in depth enough, and I didn't really think it would get much traction, and it ended up getting a lot more traction than I thought it would. I gave it away for free for the first 6 days, which I think helped a lot.
Wow.
And so I just thought, a year and a half later, I decided to write the 2019 edition. That sold even better, and so I revamped it all for 2020, and this is the one that I'm actually a lot more proud of. There's a lot of spelling errors that ends up, but the this edition I feel like is the most encompassing. But now I kind of feel like I need to. Now it's gonna, for 2022 it'll be 2 years. I think I need to revamp it again just because everything changes. The Chimera wasn't even out yet when I wrote that, and so there's a lot of different new stuff out now.
Yeah, Jim and Pooch the other day on Jim Vegetech was talking about the 3D print general, what makes him a general, and that's why I'm leaving it on this picture. Yeah. How'd that all come to be, the 3D print general?
Yeah, I was, when I created the channel, I didn't know what the heck to call myself. I didn't want to use my name. I wanted the word 3D printing in there because I thought it would help when somebody's searching for issues. And I had that really big, ridiculous mustache at the time. And I don't know, people told me I kind of looked like an early 1900s general. And I originally thought I was going to be on camera a lot more. And then when the very first time I filmed myself, it probably took me 45 takes to get a 30-second clip. And I realized I don't want to be on camera anymore. And so I kind of, the name, I even bought a general hat and everything. I was going to be on camera kind of looking like a early 1900s general. And that got thrown out the door within about 2 videos. But the name stuck. And I think it works, my logo kind of works. I have a beard now, so I don't really look like that anymore. But
yeah, I usually have a goatee. I mean, most of my life I had a mustache. When I had brown hair, obviously dark brown. And then I went to a goatee, and my wife's like, well, grow a beard. So now I look a lot older. I look like Santa Claus. But I'm not going to let it get long. I'll keep it trimmed short. And at some time in the next couple months, I'll probably get rid of the beard until next winter. No, but yeah, I just posted a doc there, everybody, a Google Doc. If you would like to fill that out, we'll be giving away an Ender 3 V2. It's an Amazon return. The Navari 3D printing, they get them from Amazon. He goes through them, and he fixes them up. He warranties them for 90 days, and then he ships them out from Florida. And we're going to give one away later. And if you would please fill out the Google Doc, you might have a chance to win. But you have to be in the USA only. It's only downfall. You have to be in the USA to be qualified to win, because shipping out of the country, it's just way too expensive, way too much money.
Well, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. I used to do a lot more giveaways on my channel of prints that I make, because that when I first started my channel, I had no idea how to get subscribers. So I was basically just bribing people. Like every video I was printing something that took me 8 hours to build and paint. And I was just like, it's giveaway. And I remember like the first time I had a ship to Europe, it happened to be a really big Iron Man that I printed and painted. it was absurd. It was like $120 to ship. I can't remember. It was, and I was like, I'm gonna go broke just doing giveaways. I wasn't making any money on my channel, and I'm spending every other week $50 to ship something. So, but yeah, shipping outside the states is a little absurd.
Yeah, Navari 3D printing, Trevor. I'd like to pull up a video that he sent me a little bit ago of his shop. This is real interesting. This is down in Florida. It's in Navari, Florida. It's near Pensacola, but I'd like to pop this up. Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, no, it's a really awesome shop. There's, I mean, ridiculous amounts of Creality printers in there. So
I notice I do that a lot when I'm taping something. I don't usually talk. A lot of times when people post videos online, they just sit there and they film and they don't talk. But yeah, that was cool. Thank you very much, Trevor. I really like that.
No, it's an awesome shop.
We jump into some pictures here. How many printers do you have about, or have you owned?
Yeah, so I've actually been giving them away lately just because I just have my one office, and I mean, I'm not complaining. This is so much more than what I started with, but I have 2 racks and they're full, and so I have probably been sent to me about 22 printers or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to check my review channel, but I've been giving anyone that I don't want to actually keep as a workhorse, I'm giving away now. So that's going to be the plan. So I gave away, what I did in a recent video was I went over the actual printers I use and all the ones I don't use. I said, hey, if you live in, Central Texas, near San Antonio, Austin, come on by and I'll give you one of them. And so one weekend I had about six people come on over and cleared out a bunch of my printers. I'll probably do that every so often.
Wow. Yeah, it's a shame you're not into great big giant phenon resin printers, because I got a truck and I can fill it up full of gas and I can spend 13, 14 hours and drive down to Texas.
Yeah. Speaking of resin, I am sent them every so often, but I don't like working with them, mostly because of my office. I have a carpeted floor, and just for instance, today I'm doing a video on the Uniz IB, which is actually a really cool SLA printer. Of course, the light is reflecting off it, but it's really big. It's a really big, really nice printer. Wow. But just even today, when I was scraping off a print, I hit it too hard. It flew way off where I wanted to go, rolled on my carpet, straight off the printer. And so I don't really have the correct setup for that messy of a device.
Jumping back to chat. Let me jump into some pictures here. Now, these are really cool.
Yeah, so I'm approaching 50,000 subscribers, and so Polymaker reached out to me and wanted to know if I was interested in doing a giveaway with them. And so, a little bit of a sneak peek. When I hit 50,000, there'll be a video where I review 2 of their flexible filaments. One of them is brand new. It's a high flow flexible, so I actually printed it at 100 millimeters per second on a Bowden. it came out a little messed up, but 60 millimeters per second, it ran perfect on a Bowden. And so I'm doing a review of that, and also giving away, Polymaker is giving away $500 worth of their filament. So
wow,
I'm going to be choosing three winners to basically pick as whatever they want from Polymaker. So that's what those shoes are. Those were made out of their Polymaker flexibles. And actually, one of them is comfortable. The high flow is a little bit harder, and so it wasn't quite as comfortable as a shoe. But it's really cool that you could print it on just an Ender 3 without any upgrades.
Yeah, get a plastic mat, put under your chair so you can roll around better.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I need in here. I mean, I just need a curtain so my face isn't washed out like this. But I'm never on camera, and it really helps with filming, shots of prints.
Do I look blurry, everybody? My wife on her phone says I look blurry. I shouldn't.
You look good to me.
Huh. I'm not sure. Oh, and this one's really cool. Oh, here's some of your printers here.
Oh, yeah. So there's that. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Uniz. So these are the ones I'm reviewing right now. Not the JG Maker, but those three. I have the Rock 3 Pro. That should be out any day. Wow. The Uniz, which I'm testing right now. And then Lotmax sent me a V2 of their Shark. And I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest in my video review. I can't tell much of a difference between the V1 and the V2. But
that's the Ender 3 V2 right there on the far right, isn't it?
Oh no! So I mean, it's a Lotmax Shark, but I mean, it's one of the many clones of the Ender 3. Oh, but it has a swappable. The hot end is swappable for a laser engraver, which is the coolest part of it.
Dual Bowden, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Comgro just sent me out their laser they sell by itself for $50. It magnetically attaches to the front of your Ender 3. So I took one of my Ender 3 V Pros, and I took off the pet fang I had on, which is all plastic. I put it back to stock, so in a couple days I can work on a video for that. And it's great, but when you want to use it for 3D printing, you got to open up your case, unplug the fan, plug it back in. So I want to put a switch on it, so you can just flip the switch.
Yeah, and I'll say this in my review, but the Lotmax printer, I'm going to end up keeping it, but just as a laser engraver, because it works well as a laser engraver, but it's pretty basic Ender 3 other than that.
Anybody in chat has any questions, please feel free to ask. We've got the man here himself, and there's David Petzel himself. It's in chat. Hello, Llama.
Yeah, and you could show kind of the I think I sent you pictures of the my early setup where it's just like the dresser. When I first started my channel, I was in a 2-bedroom apartment with a roommate in a very small apartment in San Diego. And no, not that. That's actually my current office. So let me see if it's on, if I can find it. Oh, I don't know how to do that. It should just be a dresser with two. Well, anyway, I was printing just in my bedroom for basically the first probably 6 months to a year of my videos. And I tried to hide it as best I can, but I'm literally in this really small bedroom, and I just put the printers on top of the dresser and tried to angle my phone so that you see the white wall behind it and the printer, and then I'd have to move the printer to put the prints on it. So I tried to fool everybody, but it's kind of slowly grown into what I have now, which is very cool.
Do you usually film with your phone, or do you usually film with a DSLR or a camcorder? Or?
So for the first year I filmed with my phone, and to be honest, it's more than fine. I could have continued filming with my phone up until today, especially with new phones. But my cousin was beyond kind, and basically a year into it, she was like, thought it was so cool I was doing this, and went out of her way to actually buy me a DSLR, and I could not believe she did that. But so I use a DSLR for my videos, but it's still 1080 versus my OnePlus T I think could film in 4K, and it's really good. So yeah, there's no need for a DSLR, but it is really nice to be able to use.
I filmed some resin printing stuff about a week ago, and I put it in a little tripod mount. I got a Galaxy S10, a forward-facing camera, so I had to walk around the back, hit start, went around, and I started doing what I was doing. When I got done, I realized I had filled my phone was full of pictures and videos, and it shut off on me.
Oh, no.
I lost my footage. And earlier that day, that happened on my computer. I was recording in OBS, and I filled up my hard drive. And by the time I took the build mat from Wham Bam, I took off the sticker, I applied it, I lost all that footage, so I had to come back and just explain the process of what I did.
You just do it again and pretend that
I
it was
couldn't
your first
peel it
time.
off and do it again. But yeah, we got a few other pictures here. Let's see. This one we looked at. Okay, let's go back to the one we were just looking at.
Yeah, so this is I'm sitting in that chair right now. Exactly. That's why my face is kind of washed out. I don't have any blinds.
That's a big window.
And so this is my office from if you just walked in through the door. The view is I'm in that's it right there. I'm in Hill Country in Texas, and I was in San Antonio, and we fell in love with this area. Just it's beautiful, and so I love being able to see this, and so I like not having curtains. But if I'm going to be in camera a little bit more, I guess I need them. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting right now, and that's what I'm looking at.
Very nice. The sound's only downfall on the phone with automatic noise cancellation and variable bitrate compression. It just kills it. And that's
I guess I'm a little bit of a unique case because I'm not filming on camera. Like when I film just my prints and then I voice over using the Snowball mic, that didn't affect me. But yeah, I'm sure that is an issue.
What software do you use to edit with? Do you do it on your phone or do you have a program?
I use Premiere Pro. It's funny. I actually, don't tell me, but I was using an illegal downloaded version for probably the first 2.5 years that I was making videos. And I thought,
say that out loud.
Yeah, well, I bought it in 2015, but I thought that it just took an hour and a half to export a 10-minute video. I thought that was just how long it took. And then eventually I was like, okay, this is becoming a little bit more than just a hobby. I might as well pay for it. And now my videos are exporting in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, I should have paid for this earlier.
Well, some people like to try before they buy. They try it out, and, well, this is cool. Let's buy it. But
yeah, I legitimately thought it just took that long to export videos. I didn't know that it was faster.
Yeah, let me go up to some of my pictures here. Got a lot of them on here. The room that I'm in is the living room in my house. When I bought this house, you walked in the front door, you had a long rectangular room. Then you have a little dining area. You got a kitchen. Then that kitchen is open to another really big room, which is like a living room. So I turned that into my hobby room. And then I enclosed my patio, which is underneath the house. And I put one wall up and a door with no window. I don't need a window in it, but there's a window in the door. And then that's my resin room and where I keep all my paint stuff. There's a slider in between both, but I just leave it open. There's no reason to close it. My air conditioner and heater on the house keeps that room cool or hot, whichever. It's fine. But here's where I'm at right now.
Your setup is pretty amazing.
And there's a table I put in about a month ago. I still got to organize the drawers and everything. It's kind of a mess, but I had to build most of it in place. I couldn't build the table outside and get it in, so I had to build most of it in place. And then there's a shelf here. It's got a lot of resin prints and junk on it. I used to have a TV on this shelf. And then here's the resin room.
Yeah, that's what I need right there. That room. That's what I need.
Yeah, you can see that's the window that used to go into the house. And it's stuccoed. There's no reason to change that because someday if I ever sell the house, I could take down one wall and then it's a patio again. And that's what too many models look like, getting carried away. I should have printed minis long ago. And I've got more that you can't see on the bottom shelf. I've got stuff in the spare room, but that's the majority of my stuff right there. And
that's really cool.
I'm 3D print and paint, but I'm more of 3D print. I don't paint as much as I should. It's just the day gets away from me. I do this, and this, and it's time to go to bed again. So
what's funny, I actually really enjoy painting prints. Like it's really, I don't know, therapeutic or whatever. I just have my earbuds in and I'm just painting for a few hours. But those videos I realize get like no views. Nobody wants to watch those videos is what I've learned. So I kind of have steered away from doing that as much.
Yeah, everybody watching, there's a Google Doc on screen. If you're in the USA, please fill it out. We're giving away an Ender 3 V2, and Navari 3D Printing is sponsoring this stream. And like I said, he wanted to donate it to me and all that I do. And I said, you know what? I have one. I've got so many printers. I'd rather give it away to my viewers just because I'm hoping to get more subscribers, more likes, and try to increase content. So hopefully somebody will win it that actually can use it and not somebody that has too many printers like I already have.
Yeah, so, and you can't go wrong with the Ender 3 V2. I mean, so.
Yeah, I have an Elegoo Mars. I've done a couple minis on it, and then I've done the rest of them on my Frozen Mighty 4K. And I've had a lot of problems with supports, the model pulling off of support. Loyal Moses, thank you very much for the $25. That's awesome. He is Santa Claus of the 3D printing community, Mr. Moses.
Oh, awesome.
So he's a great man. Someday we'll get him on a live stream. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think he's going to wind up on the Edge of Tech before my stream, but that'd be really cool to see him on camera somewhere.
Yeah.
And let me share another screen here. Here's you over on YouTube. Let's see, your YouTube channel. 3D Print General. There's a picture of your book. And yeah, you got 48,000 subs. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of been creeping up. The thing is, I'm slowly learning what gets views and what doesn't, and what gets subscribers. So I actually haven't uploaded in a couple weeks. I'm very far behind on a few videos, but yeah, I for instance, when I interviewed Control Pew, which actually right there, the 3D printed guns, with the gold gun right there. Yeah, that video. I mean, I think it's my most viewed video now. I think it's at like 500,000 or something like that, or yeah, 500.
Wow.
And that video alone has probably gotten me, 5,000 plus subscribers. So versus, when I spent, and that video, all it was me interviewing somebody for a half hour and then editing it for, 4 hours. And versus, well, I'll literally spend 8 hours painting something and it get, nobody seems to care.
Turning myself into bobblehead. Did you design that?
So I when I used to work for SD3D, they had an It Sees 3D iPad scanner, and so I had the file of my face already, and then I tweaked it to become a bobblehead.
Very cool. Yeah, you got a ton of videos. How often do you put out a video? Once or twice a week, or it all depends?
It's supposed to be once a week, and I've been kind of crummy lately, but now I'm going to be trying to do more twice a week to catch up. Yeah, so I don't post enough to Instagram, so I haven't posted since the snowstorm. But that's my puppy right there. She's the crazy one. If you hear anybody barking in the background.
Yeah, my dogs don't know what snow is. It rarely snows where I live in Vegas. On the outskirts it does, but
well, it's not supposed to snow where I am, so.
Oh, there you are with the beard and without. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I need to post more to Instagram. As you could tell, there's the 2020 New Year's photo, so definitely not many posts.
Nice. Yeah, that Sanix head there, Halloween. I done that really big, like 200% a long time ago, 250.
Yeah.
I painted it like 90% and I stopped working on it. Very cool. Wow. Okay, that's what you're going to look like when you get older. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start getting older and seeing wrinkles, just turn the knob on the back of your head and then pull the wrinkles out.
There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, lots of stuff on Instagram. Let's see. And here we are at 3dprintgeneral.com.
Yeah, I mostly created this just because, well, first of all, you need a website to have Amazon affiliate, which I wasn't even aware of. But I mostly do this for an all-in-one shop. So I'm not selling anything, but I try to link to everything I personally use. So Jason M, thank you very much for the 2501. I thank you. That's awesome. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. So the site's mostly, I ended up turning it into more of a website where I just kind of show my videos, but the main point is for the shop to have be a source. Like I said, I'm not selling any of these things individually, but just so people know, hey, I tested this and it worked for me. So that's mostly what the website's for. And then here is your book over on Amazon. We showed a little bit ago. Yeah, and I wanted to mention, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, the Nicholas from Polymaker, I really like working with them, added a material science chapter in that book, which is, I think, the best part of the book, because he really understands what's going on in the material itself. And so if you read his chapter, it kind of allows you to understand what's going wrong without needing to check other parts in the book. He kind of tells you why a print is warping instead of how to fix it. And here's Navari3dprinting.com, their website, and where they're at on social media. And here they are over on Facebook, Navari3DP. I'll make sure to go like them right now. And if everybody is watching, most people know this, but
the USA Corrality Exchange Group over on Facebook is Trevor gets Corrality printers, and he goes through them usually to make sure they work fine to the best of my knowledge. He guarantees them, I believe, for 90 days and returns and sells them to people, and they get great deals. But yeah, I've known many people for a very long time that have joined this group, and he makes posts when he comes out with new products, or people can message him looking for different things. But yeah, it's a great way to pick up a perfectly good machine that somebody bought for whatever reason and they didn't want it. And here's a bunch of his printers he bought. I believe he brought these brand new for his shop that he's using here that we've seen in the video earlier. But yeah, it's a great man, great company, and he has a lot going on. He came out with his own line of build plates here also. And there's links to 3D Print General in the description below and to Navari Printing.
Yes, a big thanks for this giveaway.
Very cool.
Let me see.
Yeah, everybody watching, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And let's see if I got another picture. Okay, I tried to do an Etsy store, and here's a picture of some stuff that I put up on Etsy.
Oh, wow.
In the last couple of months, I sold one sticker. So, yeah, I guess I just want too much for my painted models. Some of them aren't painted. I'm trying to be reasonable on the prices. I haven't done much with the store in probably a month or so, but I need to upload more stuff. Everything behind me at some point needs to go on Etsy, be sold, given away something to recoup money to pay for my hobby, because without I'm retired on a fixed income. I'm retired from construction here in Las Vegas, and I can't afford my hobby with the amount of bills that I have. So any little extra I get here and there, even if it's $1 or $5, helps immensely. And I'd like to thank 3D Print Newbie that's probably watching. After my live stream I had the other day, he had sent me $5 through PayPal, and I don't know if he can afford it. He's a disabled vet, but I really appreciate it, 3D Print Newbie, for that $5. It was awesome.
That's really cool.
Do you have any other hobbies that you're into other than 3D printing? Do you have any other hobbies you're interested in?
Well, let's think. Right now, most of my life is all about that puppy. I can't say enough that it is so much more work than I thought it was going to be. It's just I'm in the middle of working. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain. She's a lab, a 5-month-old lab, and she likes to do things that, I don't know, she'd keep away. Anything I don't want her to do, she likes to do. So that's been a lot of my time lately. But no hobbies, let me think. No, I mean, most of my time is in this room, I'll be honest with you.
Are you married, have kids? And
so I have a long-term girlfriend that I've lived with for a couple of years. Probably will turn into a wife at some point. But yeah, it's just us and our cat and our dog. And we moved out here together from Southern California, and not knowing anybody, not even seeing the house that we were moving to other than pictures. We just couldn't afford living in Southern California. And so, yeah, that's moved out here together. But yeah, I'll go into real quick kind of I had mentioned this earlier, but the reason I wrote the book, I feel like every manufacturer overhypes their printer, which I guess is what they're supposed to do. But I don't think I mentioned this, but at my old work, SD3D, yeah, no, that is true. It's actually more, I was trying to figure out my finances before I start planning a wedding. But we at my old shop, we would get people calling all the time, do you fix printers? Do you fix printers? Do you fix printers? And I mean, how many times they would bring in the printer and there would be nothing wrong with it. Oh,
David Tetzel, thank you very much for the $25. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so there's I love Thomas Sandlatter's YouTube page. He taught me as much as my old boss, but there wasn't really an all-in-one resource kind of. There is now. There's competitors to my book now, but that's why I kind of just decided, and my other thought process was I'm not an engineer, so I'm coming at this with no engineering background, and I'm learning from scratch. So I felt like I was able to explain issues to a non-engineer a little bit easier. For instance, my old boss would explain the problem to me, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. So I was kind of thinking I'll explain this, kind of like 3D printing for dummies, but that trademark was taken. But that was kind of my thought process about writing it.
The Happy Extruder says 83 3D Print General. I missed the old cover on your book.
Oh, my first cover actually I paid somebody to make it, and I didn't know it was a stock image they used. And so I was actually at a maker fair, and I see the cover of my book on a huge banner. And I'm like, how did they get that? And I had no idea. The person just used a stock image. So I ended up trying to make a more unique design that somebody else can't just use.
Very nice. I wish I was smart enough to write a book, but I don't know what I would write it about. It'd be so much research, it'd take years.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually wrote the first edition a lot faster than most people think. I just kind of, I'm very OCD like my dad. I just kind of zoom in on something, and that's all I care about for 3 weeks at a time. And so I just literally, I was without work for a couple weeks, and so during those couple weeks, it was probably 4 weeks I spent writing the first edition of the book. And so I just every day just typed, and yeah, next thing you know, it just came out. I think I'm not a good writer, but when it's technical stuff, it's just kind of easy to regurgitate.
So when you make your videos where you're reading off a script to get every word right, you write it down, you proofread it many times, you change it. Are you reading off a paper, a whiteboard? Do you have a screen, a teleprompter you're reading off of, and you pause it when you want?
Well, I'm never on camera like this. I mean, there's maybe two videos.
I know. It's just when we see your hands or what we're looking at.
Yeah, so I film everything before I write the script. So I film every little thing so I know issues that I end up having and all that sort of stuff. And then I have a Word document in front of me, and then I have the snowball mic in front of me, and I just read it. And I've slowly learned how to be a little bit more enthusiastic during the videos. But I'm just reading, and I feel a lot more comfortable doing that because, like I said, I'm sure I've said a ton of times, who knows, and it's just a little bit more comforting just to be able to read it straight off a script. So no, just a Word doc right on my computer, and that's all I'm doing.
3D Print Obsession, thank you very much for the $5.
Yes, thank you.
That's awesome. So you're reading a script off your computer, you said?
Yeah. No, so that's how I do every video. And what's crazy is I'm thinking back to high school, and we'd have to write 500-word essays, and how annoying they would be. And now every video I make is like 2,000 words. So it's a little crazy to think about.
And here's Google Doc again. Anybody watching, please fill this out. If you're in the USA only, you might win a 3D printer here. We're giving away an Ender 3 V2, compliments of Navari 3D Printing. Trevor from Navari wanted to donate one to me here at the house, but I have like 14 printers. I've already reviewed that printer, and I really don't need another. I could take it and upgrade it and then sell one of my older Enders, but I figured, you know what? I want to give it away to everybody, and hopefully somebody will get it that'll really need it here in the U.S., and they'll have a blast with it. So that's why I chose to give it away. And in the process, maybe I'll get more subscribers and more likes and comments, and it'll help me keep bringing great content and having great people on like Sean all the time. And David Petzel that donated to me earlier, he was in chat. That's David Petzel with the Pets Fang over on Thingiverse that people print out his little ducks. That's that David Petzel, and he was
awesome.
He's on my Hangouts all the time.
I've printed quite a few of them, so.
Yeah. I think he's had like 11,000 downloads or something. I don't remember the exact number, but it's crazy. Yeah. And most people that download on Thingiverse do not donate to the person that put that item up. But a couple dollars, $5, anything. When you go to Thingiverse and you get that free model, you can throw that designer a couple dollars. It really helps them out, and it does add up over time. So I try to encourage that. Do I do that? No, not all the time, but have I? Yes. I do donate a couple dollars, $2, $3, $4 here and there when I download different models, and everybody should do that. So
definitely.
There we go. He's had 1.1 million downloads.
Wow.
It's a lot of downloads. How long, let's see, how long does it take you to write a script for a video roughly?
Well, so the script itself, actually, I can usually crank out fast because I've already done all of the tests for the video. So I know exactly what I want to say. And I've kind of learned basic structure of what I'm sticking to. So writing an actual script for like a review video, I mean, under an hour, probably 45 minutes. Yeah, because it flows pretty quickly once I know how the printer performed. Some other scripts take a little bit longer, but overall, the writing of the script is the very easy part. The parts that take a long time are the testing, because I want to make sure I do proper tests on a printer or if I do a tutorial video. And so I'll often spend, like, for instance, the example I always show is I've made 2 really detailed dissolvable support videos. And one of them, I mean, I probably spent not editing the video 30 plus hours of work, not printing, just actually my labor on that. And but then the script itself might have taken me an hour. So it really is the process that takes a long time. And then editing too. I mean, just editing one video probably takes me on the low end 6 hours, because I got to crop all the audio to the correct scene, and I'm not very good at this sort of stuff, but I'm getting faster.
Yeah, a lot of people think the content creators get all this free stuff and they're rolling in all this free stuff. But when you make a video, it takes a lot of time. Time is money. So by the time you figure out how much time you put into making the video for that $200 or $300 printer, no, technically they should owe you money. But yeah, it's not really free if you're going to publish it and put out documentation or videos on it. So
yeah, I think I had reviewed the one of the XYZ DaVinci printers, and that was one that they had me send back when I was done reviewing. And I'd only accepted it because I wanted to maybe hopefully have a good relationship with them. But I spend 8 hours on tests, another 8 hours editing, and the video gets 2,000 views. It's kind of like, well, yeah, no, it really wasn't worth it. It ended up being a cost to me to review the printer.
Yeah, my resin video I put out yesterday, I had so much footage that never went in the video, and I'm cutting and putting this in, and I don't like this. And then a lot of times when I get done and I upload it, and then I watch it again after it's up, I'm like, wow, I should have done this. I should have done that. It's just a matter of time. And
something else I'm kind of learning now is I do have a few more reviews coming out soon, but I'm going to start declining printers unless there's something really unique to them, just to make it a worthwhile video to watch. Because if I just get another Ender 3 clone, it's just going to be, well, this is it performs like an Ender 3.
It's like PLA. I mean, PLA is basically PLA. Sure, there's different types, but overall, most PLA is the same. There are a few exceptions, but they're very rare. I would like to get an Anycubic Photon Mono X to compare against my Frozen Mighty 4K. So I got on Amazon today. I contacted the company. Hopefully they'll respond to me. But I would love to do a comparison video because I've had so many problems with this Frozen. It's crazy. It loves ZYLTECH resin, but most other resins I have different issues with. Yeah. But ZYLTECH, it just prints perfect with it. And ZYLTECH just sent me out a bottle. They're fast and they're tenacious that I'm working on a video on for right now, along with 3D Resin Solutions. They sent me out 3 bottles, and I'm working on 2 of 3 videos right now. I got 1 out. I'm working on 2 more. So and I got the ComGrow. So I got lots of little things going on right now. And I had my COVID shot yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
Walmart, nice. I got the first shot. It was Moderna, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. And the actual shot, I felt like a woman took their fingernail and just touched me. That's what it felt like. No pain. And today I can feel where it was at, but there's not much pain there. I mean, I can touch it. I can tell where, like I bumped up against a sharp object is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
So I go back in a month.
They didn't, it was just a placebo. They just actually poked you with their nail and
yeah. I don't like needles. I don't watch needles. I mean, I've been in the hospital for different procedures over the last 2 years. I've been stuck in my vein 1,000 times. And, I always rate the nurse from 1 to 10 on how good she is, because sometimes they miss the vein. Sometimes you don't even feel it. But, this was no big deal. So anybody wants to get the shot, it's no big deal. Look that way. It's done. You leave. You wait 15 minutes and you leave. But, you got here's some really cool models here you got up on the shelf.
Yeah, so I have printed and painted more than that, but I've kind of given away a few. Actually, so, Brian Vines of BV3D.
Yes.
His name, he lives in San Antonio, and so we're not too far from each other. And so I've actually given a few of the prints to him and his kids, and but so the ones I kept are mostly specific to ones that Kong designed. So, for instance, the Captain America, the Green Lantern, the Batman, and the Mandalorian are all Kong designs exclusive on our Patreon. And so I kind of like saving those mostly because he designed them. But yeah, I wouldn't consider myself artistic at all. I've just kind of slowly learned. I feel like painting a 3D print is more filling in the lines than, kind of being actually artistic. So I just make sure my eyeball stays within the lines and that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, it's really therapeutic to do that stuff. I actually really like doing it, but it's one of those 80-20 things where, you put 80% of your effort into something that gets you 20% of the results. And, like I said, interviewing somebody or, doing a tutorial video gets me so many more views, and that means people are interested in watching it. So.
Okay, here in a couple minutes, I'm going to close down entry. So I'm going to post it one more time. Anybody that's watching, if you're in the USA or you can receive it in the USA, I'm giving away an Ender 3 V2 from Navari 3D Printing. They're donating it, and we'll have a drawing for that, but you have to be in the USA only. What brand of resin did you say works well with the frozen ZYLTECH? SIRAYA Tech, ZYLTECH works great with it. I don't have many teeth. I talk funny, but ZYLTECH resin is awesome in every printer I've ever used. I love ZYLTECH.
Yeah, and it's reasonably priced too.
Yeah, the clear is like I think $30 for a big bottle on Amazon, and the gray is like $35. The tenacious, which you mix that with other resins, like your printer comes with a little plastic bottle, a little plastic beaker, and I usually take 1.5 of those, and I'll mix that tenacious in another resin, and it gives it more rubbery-like quality. So when you drop it, you won't print it. And a 3D resin solution, the resin I've been testing now. This resin here, I took all these models, these minis, I dropped them on the counter, I threw them on the counter, and they don't break. They're rubber like little army men. As a little kid, you buy them in a pack. I mean, they're very flexible. And other than, matter of fact, one of them, the base popped off, the super glue popped when I threw it on the counter in my video, but it doesn't hurt the mini. Sure, you could probably break them, but they are rubber-like depending on the type of resin that you use. So not all resin is brittle. So, and I've never tried water washable resin yet. I have never tried that yet.
Yeah, speaking of resin, like I said, I definitely don't claim to be an expert in resin. I'm very, I would consider myself a newbie in resin. But I'm actually planning on the 2022 edition of my book, if I'm able to justify there being enough new content in there. I'm trying to find somebody who is an expert in SLA printing. I've talked to a couple people about writing, an in-depth chapter or section in the book to include SLA printing now, because when I wrote my first edition, you weren't getting an SLA printer for less than $1,000. And now it's just, there's so many $200, $300, $400 options out there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of becoming almost as popular as FDM. So I'm trying to hopefully incorporate that into the next book. But I'm not writing it because I'm not an expert. So.
Okay, I just closed responses. We have 31 responses on the drawing.
Awesome. That's good odds.
Let me go through here and I'll get all the set up. Go ahead and please ask questions or please talk about whatever. Here, let me pull a picture up. We can talk about this picture while I'm getting this ready. This is cool, and I wish I owned one.
Oh, yeah. So that's obviously the Creality belt printer. I'm currently working on a project with a video game company, which everything will come out when the video is released. But I'm Kong designed, and I'm printing a 3-foot-long sword from the game. And so, yeah, I'm going to be printing and painting that, and there'll be a video on it. And it's actually pretty cool. It just finished printing, and it's massive. It's the longest single print I've done, and it came out great. I mean, I'm gonna need to sand it a lot, but because it's kind of hard to hone in. I can't seem to get the Creality machine to print as clean as a regular printer, but since this sword happens to be really flat on all dimensions, I should be able to use my power sander and really get those lines out.
Yeah, I like that there for the keeping them level. You got all your books there lined up.
Yeah, I don't. They didn't send me one of the rollers that come with some of them, and I had spoken to Naomi Wu about it, and she had told me that they don't work that great. So she was telling me she had sent me a link on Home Depot to buy something, but I ended up just using a box and a bunch of my books. What's the best?
I prime all prints, whether they're FDM or resin, with Ravelcan primer, or you can use airbrush primer, and then acrylic paints. There's many different brands and types. I typically try not to, when I first started, I didn't go out and buy big sets. I went to Walmart actually, and I bought cheap apple barrel, and I started with that. And those still work great for printing bases and large things. And then I got on Amazon, I started buying this or that, or went to Hobby Lobby and I bought this or I bought that. Occasionally I buy sets, but usually I just buy what colors I need at that time. And then over a period of a year or two, you build up with a ton of paint.
Yeah, and if you're not painting a miniature or something, really high detail, I actually really like primer fill. I don't know if you've tried that before. It kind of fills in the cracks a little bit more than standard primer. And that one really, you can sand it down a lot more than standard primer. So I use the primer filler and then either spray paint or acrylics. And then I always put a clear coat at the end. And the most important thing is let each coat dry. If you that is so crucial. If you don't let it dry, you're gonna really hate yourself.
And another thing, if you're printing a face or printing eyes and you're building up your layers, in between the layers, take a can of matte clear varnish or finish and lightly dust it and spray it, because when you put on the next coat, if you mess up and you try to wipe it off, you're going to smear off all your layers. Yeah. So use a matte finish over top of something if you're going to paint another color. Then if you get it on the other, you can carefully wipe it off. Otherwise, you wipe off all your layers, you're down to primer, and you're like, oh shit, now what do I do? And you got to try to build it all back up again. But hey, let's have a drawing. Let me share my screen here. I'm kind of excited about this. Share screen. Let's see. We got the wheel right here. And let me scroll through here, and everybody's names are entered that entered. We had 31 entries. So I know a lot of times when people, they do these, they never scroll the screen. I want everybody to see their name is there. And are we ready? Hey, everybody that's on this wheel and everybody watching, please subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified the next time I go live or do a video. And please like. I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. So with that being said, are we ready? What do you think, Sean?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, here we go. We're going to click it. So we're going to have a winner in the USA only. If you're not in the USA, and also you have to be in chat. So once we have a winner, we'll see if they're in chat. If they respond, great. If they don't, then we'll have to redraw. Here we go.
Oh,
Sandra Lloyd. Sandra Lloyd is our winner. Sandra, are you in chat? Let's see if Sandra's in chat. If she's in chat, we have a winner. And are you in the USA? Let me watch chat for a minute. Sandra Lloyd, are you in chat? Sandra Lloyd.
Oh, she's there.
Congrats. Are you in the USA, Sandra? Do you live in the USA? Yes, she's in the USA. Woo-hoo. All right, Sandra. Let me quit sharing my screen. Sandra, I'm putting my email in chat. jemath1@yahoo.com. Please message me with your mailing information. I will give that to Trevor at Navari 3D Printing, and he will get that printer sent right out to you. And I'm not sure if I ask for emails, but if you don't contact me, I'll contact you. And it's right there. But yeah, that's awesome. That's I really hope that you can use the printer and you'll have a lot of print out a lot of good stuff. And if you have time, feel free to post them on Twitter or on my Facebook group. It'd be awesome to see what you've done with the printer and how it's made your life better. But that's good. And Trevor gives you a 90-day warranty on it. So very cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I can't wait till I get my 2,500 subs. I've got a list this long of people and companies that want to give away stuff. So I need like another 250 subs, and then I'll hit 2,400. I'll hit 2,500. Once I get to like 450, I'm going to do a video talking about it. I will show all the companies on screen, and then I'll do the giveaway. That way they're getting plugged, because obviously the reason companies give stuff away is so they might get more business. So I'm more than happy to plug companies, show them. And everybody I have on my live streams or my hangouts, they're always welcome to plug anything they want. All this is for everybody out there. Now, slowly, it helps me little by little, and I help out other people in the community. So I love doing this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, sorry, Moses, you didn't win, but you're on the wheel. Maybe next time. Yeah, Moses probably has 1 million Prusas and everything else you can possibly imagine in the world. He probably already owns it. But yeah, and he donates to channels constantly. He's really an amazing individual.
That's awesome.
So, winner, chicken dinner. Yep. Let's see what we got going on here with pictures. Okay, we showed that one. We talked about 3D print mill. I believe I showed this one of all your printers, didn't I? No, we didn't show that one.
No, yeah. So that's my. That's currently what's behind me. Yeah. So this is where I normally keep my workhorse printers, the ones I'm actually using for jobs or prints or anything like that. Yeah, so those are the ones that are slowly being replaced. For instance, that CR10 in the top right, I mean, I've worked that thing to death, and it can't even really get above 80 degrees Celsius, the build plate anymore. So that one is slowly going to be worked out. But yeah, as new ones come in, for instance, that Rock 3 Pro that is kind of on the very edge of the printer off to the right, of the picture off to the right, that one may end up taking its place just because, you know, it's got the silent drivers and the build plate can actually reach the correct temperature. But yeah, that's where I like to work. And without that, I don't know how I would fit any printers in this office.
How often do you ever have all your printers running, or not very often? You just kind of jump around here and there?
So the way my electrical is set up, I'm currently, I have an extension cord to the guest room to use a second circuit, but each circuit can only run about 3 printers at a time. So every so often I'll run 5 or 6. But for instance, that sword print you saw on the belt printer, I actually 2.5 days in, I overloaded the circuit by running too many machines.
Oh, wow.
So I had to start.
Do you have UPS backups on them?
Well, no, I don't. But actually the belt printer has a recovery, but it recovered just like slightly off. And I'm like, if this is going to be for a video game company, I'll just restart the print. But yeah, I can only run like 6 machines at one time just based off the way my electrical situation is. And
Yeah,
I was gonna say not that often because I actually don't do jobs that often. I will accept job, like people will email me and I'll usually forward them to SD3D, who I used to work for. But I will take on like, and I have one, I want to print one thing and I want it painted. That's kind of more the thing I like to take on rather than, you know, 500 things at once. Rep Rap Festival. Where's the Rep Rap Festival?
Not sure.
I guess it would depend where and when. I want to go. I do want to get to more conventions just because I haven't really gone. I've only gone to CES. So
Your Captain America print, where'd that come from?
So Kong, who was
I've got a dog laying on the floor behind me. He has gas. I swear, or she. I swear to God, she has gas. I took a shower this morning. It's not me. It's like, oh my God.
Well, we can't smell you. Don't worry.
If I'm getting red, you know why.
The Captain America print design was by Kong, who does our Patreon designs, and so it with all our other designs is for $1. But it was right after Endgame, Avengers Endgame, and so he designed Captain America holding Mjolnir, and then he has a couple different shields, one broken, one not broken. So actually, that's my favorite design that we have on our Patreon, and my favorite print. I spent a long time painting that thing. So
very cool. Let's see. You were involved in that big freeze they had down in Texas recently. Did you lose power, water, and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we were really lucky. We lost water for 4 days. It wasn't because of freezing pipes, though. I guess our water company, their reserves were depleted because of all the rolling blackouts. But we didn't lose electricity once, and I guess that was really unique because everybody around us did. And so my friends who live in Austin, they didn't have electricity for 4 days. And so it got to like 38 degrees in their apartment. And so they drove down here. And so I was kind of the safe house. Yeah, I was this.
Yeah.
I was kind of the safe house for all my friends. So my friends brought their dog. It was a madhouse for that week in here. But luckily we were warm and we had plenty of snow for the toilets to flush the toilets. But yeah, it was annoying when it was going on, but we were super lucky, and looking back, it was kind of fun now, just kind of like a snowmageddon with all our friends just huddled up and dogs going crazy in my small house.
Well, you can see how easy it is doing a live stream and just chatting with somebody, and you're talking to chat. It's just like we're hanging out offline like we did beforehand.
Yeah.
Every time I have a guest on or anybody, we chat offline a little bit, make sure it's going to go right, and I kind of go over what we're going to talk about. And this is no different other than we have people all over the world watching you all at once that are, critiquing everything around you. And every time I full screen you, they're looking around at, wow, what has he got over there? Or I like that up there,
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe some of your future videos you'll want to be on camera and you could do an intro and then go to your hand thing.
Yeah, I'm slowly working my way up to it. It's I'm always afraid on live I'm just gonna have this massive brain fart because and I just like, where was I? And just so luckily that didn't really happen this time. But yeah, practice makes perfect, and eventually I'll be doing that on my channel.
Yeah. So yeah, we're coming up on an hour right now, but yeah, anybody else have any comments in chat or anything you'd like to ask Sean, the 3D Print General? We've never seen him live before, and here he is.
Yeah, I can ask about my medical marijuana collective, any of those things.
Yeah, I had a question about that when he sent me the picture saying, well, I asked him what it was all about before he showed it on the screen, but it's a perfectly legit business, and, I would never show anything that's not legit. We don't do politics. We don't talk about sex, that type of thing. So
we went above and beyond to do everything by the book. So we did far more than all of the other collectives. But yeah, that was a different life, but definitely a fun time.
So anyway, yeah, if that's it, do you have anything you'd like to say to everybody out there watching?
No, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you having me on. This is definitely a good intro.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep making the great videos. We all love them. Keep writing those books. They're great. They help everybody out. And, you're an awesome guy, and I really appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you, Jerry. You're awesome, too. And happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. Stick around. I'll be right back with you, Sean.
All right.
But, yeah, that was a great stream, everybody. And congratulations, Sandra, for winning the Ender 3B2 from Navari 3D Printing. I really hope that you get it right away and you enjoy it. And if you have any problems, you can reach out to me or Trevor or anybody in the community. We'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And you can go over to thangs.com, Thingiverse. There's so many places, Yegi.com, Cults 3D. There's so many places out there where you can get really cool models. Some you pay for, some you don't. Some you can just give them a donation. It's great. But please like, subscribe, and share, everybody. And as always, happy printing and happy resin printing. And in a few days, I'll try to have another video out for you. I'm working on a couple things right now. So thank you very much, everybody.